we are live once again, and it's a joy and it's a pleasure, it's an honor to be in togetherness with you and to be able to share today's theme that I think is so useful for each one of us, because it's how to flow when you feel overwhelmed. And who of us has not feel overwhelmed? And feeling overwhelmed may be because of different emotions that we experience at times. It may be prompted by fear, or just anxiety, or I don't know, anger, sadness. So what to do not to fall into this state, or what to do when you already feel overwhelmed. So today's session is going to be divided in 3 different moments. In the beginning, I will just share with you 3 practices, 3 very simple practices of mindfulness. But as we know, the important thing about all these practices is to practice it. It is so important to practice it. And in the second moment, I will be doing a meditation for us to feel that liberation, complete liberation of all what feels heavy. And then at the end, I'm going to amplify this emotion or this feeling or this beautiful state of freedom with the sound of the gongs. So I know that many of us have been sharing all these meditations together, but for those who have not, just to let them know that the gongs are really a powerful vehicle for us to reach that deepest state of our minds and to really create a change. The sound of the gong is so special because in just one stroke you get all the tones and overtones. So it's really a sound wave so rich that is going to activate each and every molecule of your being, and that includes your body, that includes your mind, and that includes, of course, your emotions. So that's a reason why a lot of people, they feel like so released and so relieved and like almost like healing in that moment. I listen comments like, for example, I was having this pain in my back, but for years, and after the sound meditation it was gone. Or people experiencing migraines, or people after a surgery. So this sound is really unique. You will feel it. But let's begin with the first part of the experience, and I thank you so much to share with me this moment in your life. And I can tell you that you're going to receive a deep benefit. So just for you to be aware of that. Sometimes when we feel overwhelmed, it's mostly because there is something going on that makes us feel that, which can be fear, which can be anger, which can be sadness, which can be feeling so jealous because we feel that we're not good enough and they are comparing us, or there are so many different emotions that we as humans experience. But the important thing for us to know is that the way we are feeling life is happening in my mind. It's just the way my mind is interpreting life and making me feel it as such. So the 3 practices that I will share with you has to do with that activity of the mind. And first of all, to understand that the root of all these emotions, negative emotions, is basically fear. And that we learned in a early stage in our lives. Generally, it's between the 0 and 7 years old when you create all these programming in your mind. And it is exactly those first experiences in your life and the way we were being educated and so on what created these kind of emotions or these kind of feelings or ideas about myself and about life. So let's say if I as a child was feeling so abandoned and not attended, or I was feeling compared all the time and not good enough, not skillful enough and so on, that is the same emotion that hurts so much in the present times. So whenever you begin to feel like overwhelmed because of whatever situation is happening in your life, one of the practices is for you to just say out loud, and you may just need to dedicate 1 or 2 minutes in this practice. This practice consists in you taking any element of the environment or any circumstance in your life or any emotion, and just to say out loud, my thought about this is just a thought, and my thought about this emotion is just a thought, and my thought about the behavior of my husband is just a thought, and my thought about how I felt when my son did this is just a thought. So for us to practice this is so powerful, because at the end we understand that anything that we are appreciating in the environment or feeling or interpreting is just a thought. 90% of what happens in my life and the way I feel it happens in my mind, and it's just a thought. So that is a very good practice, and you feel like so relief when you do these kind of practices, because it brings the awareness that we are not, or reality is not exactly that. That is just a thought. And a thought is a result of what has been programmed, or what was programmed in very early stages in my life. So that is the first practice. Do it, try it, and see how it feels. The second one is just for you the same. Whatever crosses your sight in your environment, or whatever emotion or memory or idea or something, just to take it and to say out loud, this doesn't mean anything, and this doesn't mean anything, and the only meaning that it has is the one that I am putting into it. So this idea about my family doesn't mean anything. It's just the meaning that I'm putting into it. And this behavior of somebody else that is so close to me doesn't mean anything. The meaning that it has is the one that I am putting into it. So for us to understand that life is not heavy. The heaviness begins with all these meanings that I am putting, extra meanings that I am putting into things, people, circumstances. Because at the end, the life is just life. It's just what is. If I learn just to honor things for what they are, and to honor every person for what that person is, but not to add extra meanings, then life is going to feel like so much lighter, just as it is. So that is the second practice. Try it and see how it feels. And then the third one, I think that this is very necessary, because this is for you to apply in the moments when you are already feeling overwhelmed. So when that is happening, if you don't stop it right away, the anxiety grows and the feeling grows, and then you feel completely out of control. So in those moments, my recommendation is for you to use whatever element is in the environment in that present moment, to use it as an anchor. And that may be just your breath, and to use your breath as an anchor to come back to the present moment. Because at the end, all this state of anxiety, or whatever is the emotion that is making you feel overwhelmed, is happening because the mind is wondering. It's in the future. What if? And what is going to happen next? And so on and so forth. Or your mind may be in the past. Just, oh my God, it should have been different. I should have not told that. And so if you just bring the mind to the present moment, life is just what is, and it's all good. Life is good. Life has a perfect sequence of events for me to learn things, for me to get closer and closer to the truth. So yes, another anchor may be just, for example, to you to determine consciously and say, I am going to describe all the elements that are here in this environment that are beige or yellow, and I'm going to describe them. And then you begin. So right now I'm observing this drum, that it has a circular shape and it has some texture, interesting texture, and I can see the yellow in some parts of it. And so you begin to describe all these things that have a yellow. Or I am going to describe out loud all the round things that I can see in my environment. Or I am going to count the books in my shelf, and I'm going to describe each one of them, including their title. and you engage your mind in that present moment. So then your mind is going to be there with you instead of being wandering and making you feel how you are feeling. So those are good practices just to get out of the anxiety. Just to use any element of the environment and just to count it or to describe it. If you, for example, are in the middle of the night and you cannot rest because there is your mind and this feeling, this horrible feeling, then begin to count your breath. That could be. Because if you just try to stay still and to feel the relaxation, that is not going to happen, because in that moment your mind is so busy that you need to give a task to your mind, a different task, to continue busy, but not everywhere else, but there with you, where you are, in that safe place. So, for example, if you begin to count your breaths, you begin just like first breath, second breath, and when you count until 100, then you come forth. So back and forth, back and forth. That way you are not giving the opportunity to your mind to take you to that stressful situation or those negative and dark thoughts that the unconscious mind is so expert in creating. So it is just to stop it right away, You can just say out loud, this is just my mind, this is just a thought, as the first practice that I recommend to you. So this is just a thought. Life is good, life is well, all is well. This is just a thought. And my emotion is a consequence of that thought. And that is just a thought. And all is well. So try these 3 practices. They sound like redundant, but they are not. They are very simple, yet they are powerful. And the important thing is for us to train ourselves to become the observers. To be aware that I am not my mind. That my thoughts, even though my thoughts are trying to convince me, of course, this is true, because look, and giving me facts. And you are rehearsing and going about the same situation once and twice and 3 times and like crazy. That is the mind. That is the typical activity of the mind. So even the mind is trying to convince you, you just need to be aware of that. This is just a thought. Reality is different than this thought. So practice that and you will see how liberating it is once you become more and more familiar with this idea, and most of all in applying it in the tough times, or to prevent you falling into these difficult or tough states of being. A state of being is the combination of one thought and the emotion that creates a complete state of being. We don't want to reach those negative and tough ones. So it's all about awareness. It's all about practice. So these were the 3 recommendations that I wanted to share with you today. And if you are ready, why don't we begin to do our meditation? This meditation is going to be focused on feeling this liberation. Because at the end, all this heaviness is the consequence or the result of all these past associations. Okay? So it's for us to free ourselves from that, and just to feel life how it is, exactly the way it is, and to flow beautifully and naturally as we originally were used to. As we can see in nature, for example. Just observe little animals in nature. They are the greatest teachers. So let's begin. I will just ask you to use your headphones and to enjoy, to close your eyes during the session for you to really receive the full and the complete benefit of it. Because once you open your eyes, you get distracted, you get different information. It's just a different experience. But what we really want to achieve is the benefit, the complete benefit of a guided meditation or a semi-hypnosis. It's the same. It's me giving you some suggestions for your unconscious to create the images, and that way you are installing a very positive new symbol in your mind, which is going to connect you with a sense of freedom for you to flow better in your life. So that is the purpose of the meditation. So let's begin. I am going to dim the light for you not to get distracted at all. And then after the meditations, I will continue with a variety of sounds for you to flow with them. Are you ready? Okay, I hope you're super ready. Let's begin. So all what you need to do is to be present, to invite your mind to be here with you in this moment, and to flow, just to follow the sound of my voice, and then just to flow with the sound of the gongs. So close your eyes and take a deep breath in. Just listen to the sound of the bowls. Be aware of the sensations in your body, beginning with your breath. Breathe in. How does it feel? It may feel fresh when you breathe in. It may feel warmer when you exhale. Try to inhale in 4 seconds and make your exhalation longer, perhaps 6 seconds. Relax your feet and enjoy of doing it. How does it feel? What sensations do you feel in that part of your body? Relax your legs and your hips. Take another deep breath and just relax your abdomen. Flow with the sound and relax your chest as you breathe in. Expand your chest and be aware of your breath. Breathe light. Relax your neck, your shoulders, and your arms. Relax each finger. Relax your face, your eyelids, your forehead. All is well. Life is good. Life welcomes you. Now you're going to relax deeper by going through different levels of relaxation. So from 5 you go to level 4. You take a deep breath and you let go of any tension that may be in your body. You go down to level 3, letting go of any thought that may be in your mind. Just let it go, one after the other. Let them go. You go down to level 2. And you visualize this wave of relaxing energy entering from the top of your head, going through your body, relaxing yourself more and more. And then you go down to level 1, and you are there in the silence within yourself, in the peace of the depths. And you visualize yourself walking, just walking peacefully, harmoniously, walking away from your past, letting your past behind. Your past is just your knowledge. You understand different emotions, different situations. The past is just your wisdom. But you are not your past. You continue to walk away from it. As you walk, you see a glowing light further ahead. It is as you come closer and closer, you realize it is a celestial being, a spiritual being. And as you get closer, you can feel that sense of well-being through this light, this bright light. He looks at you lovingly and let you know that you are in the right path. You just need to continue to cross the river of liberation for you to reach the path of creation. So you continue walking. You reach the river. You immerse yourself in those crystalline waters. They feel so fresh, cleansing. As you swim through them, you can feel how layers from the past are being washed, allowing yourself to glow. There is a beautiful light coming within yourself. You reach the other bank of the river, and now you see the path of creation, wide and majestic. And you begin to walk through it, feeling that connection to it all, feeling that connection with dimensions. You realize that all the possibilities are there in that path. So you decide to explore it as you flow with the sound of the gongs. You breathe in and you continue in your own creation. now, if you want, you can continue with your eyes closed and just gently and slowly allow yourself to come back to this present moment. Bring your awareness to your healthy body, to a new life, to a new life. Take a deep breath and just begin to move your fingers and your toes. If you want, you can stretch your arms exactly as when you wake up in the morning with lots of joy and pleasure. And welcome yourself back. Welcome yourself to your life. I am going to turn on the light, hoping that you all are so well. I hope you were able to really go deep into your meditation and to explore this part of your being, this state to be in, with a peaceful mind. In this session, what you practice, if you stayed during the whole session, was first of all 3 ways to get rid of that state of being or that feeling of being overwhelmed. I always like to share you practices, mindful practices, but there is so much. For example, 2 of these exercises were taken from the Course of Miracles. But if you see, for example, practices of Louis L. Hay with positive affirmations, or of Dr. Joe Dispenza with his own meditations, of Dr. Bruce Lipton or Don Miguel Ruiz, just to be able to quiet that mitote. So at the end you realize that all these people, all these authors are talking about the same thing, just different words, different terms, but at the end it's all about the same thing. It's for us to learn to flow in life, not allowing that constant interference, negative interference of the mind, and just to become the observers. Not to be completely identified with the mind, because then those are the moments in which we feel like, oh my God, life is so tough. Life is just life. It's wonderful. It has all the colors. But we as humans, with this mind that we have, that which is a constant filter, it's up to us. If we are aware of that filter, and we can be able just to enjoy and to flow in life, then that is a wonderful state of being. A constant wonderful state of being, awareness. Awareness in combination with love, with appreciation. So I really hope you enjoy this session. And I would like to let you know that if you have not been able to follow all these sessions, these live sessions, there is a channel ready for you. 24 hours, all year long. It's unlimited. It's beautiful. It has a lot of meditations. It has tutorials in life coaching and mindfulness. So try it. You just need to go to my website, GabyDelamora.com, and then you just punch in where it says channel, or you go directly to the channel, which is GabyDelamora.vhx.tv, and there you have your personal life coach, your personal therapy for all moments, for you to flow better in life. Well, thank you so much. This is about to finish, to come to an end, but it was wonderful to be together, and I hope this community, this virtual community continues to grow. Let know of your friends and family if you like the session, and I will see you very, very soon. Thank you.